everyone, you're watching eSpotlight, a program brought to you by Golden Jubilee Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, Guru Nanak Dev University. I am Simran Kaur Rathore, and today I have with me a well-educated, dynamic entrepreneur. She has a degrees in BA English Honours, she's done her B.Ed and a course in fashion designing and runs a proprietary business called Future Fashions. Madam Neeta Mehra ji. We are so honored
Thank
to
you
have
so much. Thank you.
I think whenever I meet an entrepreneur, their journeys just speak through their words.
Yes.
And even if you're hearing it through the screen, I think the people who are going to be motivated are just going to soak in your messages.
I can understand your feelings.
So your role is going to be amazing today for anybody who's going to listen to this interview. So I'm going to ask the very first question because I'm very intrigued with a few things which I read about you. You did your degree in education.
Yes.
And then, you moved to you did a course. Yeah,
I moved to Mumbai because I got married.
Oh, okay.
So I was barely 19. And when I got married and moved to Mumbai because my husband was in Mumbai, he was in the business. I thought first that I would probably go there and teach because I was a bachelor in education. So, but as luck would have it, he was in the export line in garments only.
Right.
So I thought, why not help him, in his business. So I did a course in fashion designing, worked under a designer for about 2 years. Beena Mirchandani was her name. And then my husband opened a boutique specially for me in Mumbai. So that was my first stint at business.
Right. But you have experience at Birla's also.
See, that was an aftermath after I joined, after I came back to Amritsar.
Right.
That is, I was always in the fashion line till 1990. And then we came to Amritsar because my husband's father died and my mother-in-law was alone. So we had to move to Amritsar. Otherwise, my business was doing very well. I had film actresses coming to me in Mumbai. So in 1990, I moved to Amritsar. And then my husband did the family business. Actually, the Birla's business is the family business. So we are agents for them since the last almost 60 years because my family is very dear to them. So 2000, I lost my husband. It was very sudden. So, and my children were way too small. So, the easy way out, I always tell my girls also, whoever comes to me in the boutique or otherwise, that the easy way out is always to cry it out. But I could see my little children in front of me, and believe me, it was a tough decision to take. And the Birlas were very kind. They said, "Ma'am, how can we help you?" So I had no idea of the business. I did not even know the thread they were selling, what the denier is. These are small little things in business which you need to know. When you're going to sell it, you have to be confident about it.
Yes.
So anyways, I went to the Mumbai corporate house, and when I was walking inside the house, I was an Amritsar girl basically, just in Mumbai for 8 years and then back in Amritsar.
Yeah.
So my legs were shaking, and but then they were so good. They are very good in relationships, I must say that. So they told me that we'll give you a year because we don't have a lady at the helm ever in a center. So they have this business all over India and even abroad, of course, they are exporting. So they said, we'll give you 1 year, and if you can prove yourself, nothing like it. We know that you have a business background because you're running the boutique already.
Yeah.
So, these people came to my place also, saw me and met me. Then they called me over to my office, which is in Katraaluwalia. Katraaluwalia, as you know, is a place. We live in the city side. We don't live in the city side. We live in the civil lines. And going to the city side and sitting there was
a different experience.
So that is how it all started. That Grasim started like that. It was otherwise Century Rayon. Now it is under Grasim. So it is Racehill now. under the management of Grasim.
But you know, when I think it's only 5 minutes I've been talking to you, and it's already so inspiring.
Oh, that's
you know,
so
that
sweet.
is something when your experiences are so rooted in you,
Yes.
when you've faced things and
Yes,
you've come
yes,
out
yes.
yourself. I think that is something commendable about you.
Thank you so much, Simran.
I was going to ask you. You know, my question was going to sound a little different, but after listening to you, it's this whole sense of it, I guess, has changed,
Yeah.
even for me.
Uh-huh.
You know, we talk about the change.
Mhm.
You know, I was initially going to ask you, you went from one line of education to the other, you know, but now your life,
Yeah.
there were sudden changes.
The sudden
And
changes.
sometimes life gives you no options.
No options.
But a lot
bilkul.
of times, you know, we are scared. Entrepreneurship is all about failing and then succeeding. It's hit and trial.
Exactly.
But you know, a lot of people just don't want to take that chance. What do you think their mindset should be towards the change?
See, I basically feel that your education has a lot to do with that. You know, education teaches us how to adapt to different circumstances. So, the base of everything is education. If you ask me the definition of education, this is it. You know, that is what made me do it, and my family, my upbringing. You know, that kaisa bhi situation ho, you're going to face it. Has ke bhi karna hai, ro ke bhi karna hai.
Yeah.
So, it's better you do it smilingly.
Yeah.
So it's been 24 years that I've been alone, but I don't think so. I have any regrets. I've brought up my children well. They're from good education. They're placed well. So I think the change did me good.
For sure it did. And
Yeah.
you know, especially when you become so capable that you're there
Yes.
motivating others.
Exactly.
You know,
And
that is-
you know, one thing I believe in business very important is your relationship with the people you work with. See, I have two sets of businesses now. I'm multitasking, right? One is my boutique, my studio,
Yeah.
and the other is the Grasim. So one is totally men oriented, and one is totally women.
Women-oriented.
So I have the taste of both.
Yeah.
So you know, it gives you a challenge also कि उसमें भी बहुत अच्छे से excel करना है अगर एक में कर रहे हो तो. So आज भी like people are wearing my suits and they'll दूर से they will say हाँ this is Neeta Mehra. So that gives me a thrill till today. So it's been 30 years since I've
That's
been
amazing.
doing it.
That is
हाँ.
amazing.
And here also in the other work, yarn business, you know, I get the goods from Mumbai, and I have a dealer network. I have Amritsar and Ludhiana under me, and you know, my relationship with the dealers is amazing.
Yeah.
They respect me. It's not initially probably, you know, they thought kaise kar payegi, you know, because they're all settled in the business for n number of years. So, but later they knew that I meant business.
And I
So-
think it is the faith that few people just show on you. Just as you mentioned,
Yes.
the Birlas was like, how can we help?
Yes.
And I think that plays a huge
Huge role. I knew like they were behind me.
Yeah.
Even when my son's education, you know, ISB is not easy, you know, even financially. And I had to work for a living, you know, I didn't have money lying with me like that. And, you know, I could just steer through. No, I had to, you know, generate that finance. And that I did from both the works. If I had been left only to one, I think it would not have been possible. Though now that I look back, I can feel that the other work also, both multitasking, gave me that push, you know.
But you know, a lot of people just know the success part.
Yes.
You know, a
They
lot of
don't know what
people-
has gone behind it.
Exactly. And you know, when you started way back, the perception of people towards women entering the business was entirely
different. Entirely different.
What challenges did you face?
See, as a woman, I think because I was already working, see, in my boutique also, I have my karigars. See, most of them are men. Hana, and believe me, they've all grown old with me. So, you know, they're all like small children. They came and they were like 25, 30 years old, and now they are 60. So, you know, I
Just
think
like witnessing each other's lives.
exactly. Now they have the children who are married, you know. So it's very nice to see them like that. And it's, I think, both ways. The workers felt good working under me, and I felt good for them working for me. That plays a huge role. If you have your old workers, you know they understand your work, everything. And in case of the troubles, problems, I'm always there.
Yeah.
So because I have that thing in mind that somebody stood for me, so I have to stand for people.
Yeah.
So and that is one thing which drove me towards my social work as well.
You've been part of Rotary and Voice of
Yes,
Amritsar.
I was president Rotary in 1819, Rotary Club Civil Lines, and I was the president Voice of Amritsar for 3.5 years. So initially it always starts that you feel the society which has given you so much, you need to give back.
Yeah.
And here I always tell each person who comes to me for suggestion कि हम free हैं अब क्या करें बच्चे बड़े हो गए, I said start doing some social work. Believe me, you are a happier person.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you are happier, you can do your work also well. You don't just sit and brood. I'm single. Like both my children are outside. One is in Gurgaon, one is in Mumbai. So, but I'm staying alone. Earlier, my mother-in-law used to be there. Now she's also not there. But believe me, I never feel alone. I feel, the Voice of Amritsar family is with me. I just have to call once, and my friends are there for me. So these things definitely give you a push, and push not only even as an entrepreneur. It helps.
Yes.
It helps because you feel that somebody is behind you, and you can just go ahead and do whatever you feel is right.
A lot of times it's like हम काम कर रहे हैं,
हाँ.
but when I'm listening to you, it's almost like आपने दिल कमाया लोगों के.
You just said it.
That is simply putting it into words.
Yes.
And that is something that we should always have as a task.
Yes, yes.
But you talking about your employees, people
Yes.
who've been working with you. The smile on your face already says, but right now the culture has changed a lot.
Yes.
People
are more
just
professional.
hop off. They're like, there's so much competition.
Yes.
They just like leave the job. There's not the sense of belongingness there. So what do you think is the difference between the older generation and the employees, the younger employees that you have?
See, I think basically it is the values system which has definitely deteriorated a little. We are still in that old school where we feel agar kisi ko problem hai to it is our problem. That is the basic difference, I feel. In the new generation, it's only the material things and the money which is important. I keep telling my children, my son at times will say, abhi maine dusri job karni hai. So I say, nahi Chaitanya, hold on. When you are old in a job, you are valued more.
Yeah.
It definitely makes a difference.
Do you think that the patience has decreased somewhere? Patience
Yes,
to
definitely.
handle the failures?
Yes. I agree
what
there.
What would be the reason behind that?
See, because it is I feel that they need everything very fast. That is the reason. Because they see somebody else who has a lot. They feel हमें वैसा बनना है और बहुत जल्दी बनना है. That is why you must have seen people leaving for Canada, America, Australia. That is one of the reasons. The satisfaction level is not there. So, and another thing again, I would say in the villages, the education level does not match the city level. So they feel that the village ke log jo hain, if they go abroad, they might match them somewhere. And basic thing is the education. I wish the government would take steps so that the villagers, the children there don't suddenly feel that after our graduation or after our +2 we want to go abroad. I was talking to a minister during my Voice of Amritsar stint, and he says, "Nahi, ma'am, हम तो ये जो करतारपुर तक हमारा वो बन जाएगा. It'll be like Gurgaon. There'll be buildings and this and that. It's been 4 years, nothing happened. Yeah. The more jobs creation definitely puts the children back here. And because kitno ke paas, the percentage of people who are contented in Amritsar must be only 20%. The rest want greener pastures. That is why they, venture abroad.
It is, if I'm putting it right, पहला ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ.
Satisfaction hai na.
Satisfaction level, right.
When I started my boutique here in Amritsar, to establish, after coming from Mumbai was not easy. I was sitting on my one tailor used to sit on the floor and do the thing. And, I would collect all the suits, go out in a rickshaw to a place who would keep my suits, because I was new in Amritsar. 8 years ka gap tha na, though brought up in Amritsar. So, I have gone through that phase. which generally, like you said, it's only the success which shows.
Yes.
The hardships which have gone into it, you know.
Yeah.
And that lady with whom I used to keep my stuff would take the chunk of the profit, you know, and I would be left with, really.
Yeah. But I think you have to be professional also.
Yes.
You know, there's this line that you have to draw, the boundary that you have to create. Even
Even
because
with the labor.
Yes.
Even with the
sometimes
labor.
when, we talk about the sense of belongingness, but a lot of times not everybody is ready
Yes.
to take it nicely.
Nicely,
A lot of
because-
people take liberty of it sometimes.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
ever come across situations like this, and how have you dealt?
Generally, by and large, I have not. But once or twice, whenever I have dealt with it, like I have chucked that person out. You know, one or two people I might have, but otherwise in my boutique it is famous that ma'am never turns anyone out. But when things reach a certain level and you can't take it anymore, cheating is one thing I cannot, tolerate. So it is at that level I have to draw a line and let go of the person.
So, this word entrepreneur, I think it's still very new.
Very new.
Very new.
Very new.
You know, back in the days, it was not the word.
Not the word.
You know, it was not.
Though there were entrepreneurs earlier
Yes,
as well.
Yes, but the way we look at it now, it has changed. Totally, the perception has changed.
Definitely.
The way we deal with them has changed. There's this change of perception. So, how do you think your generation, what environment did you have, and how do you think the younger generation is at advantage or disadvantage compared to your time?
See, the younger generation definitely is not at a disadvantage because of the perks they are getting. You have the computer, you have the internet, you have everything. We did not have access to that. We did it solely, on our word of mouth, or, maybe at times put it in a magazine or a paper ki ad. And believe me, for myself, I've never done any advertisements. And if you tell today's child who's going to start business ki ad humne nahi ki, say, Ma, how did you do it? That's how it is. मतलब we were so sure कि हम जो थोड़ा सा कर रहे हैं जितना चलेगा बहुत अच्छा होगा. And it is sheer hard work. Your product definitely needs to be good.
Right.
That is one thing. अगर what you are selling is not good, however good you are, whatever relationship you maintain, whatever you may be, it's not going to work. You have to give something which the others are not giving. That I tell everyone, you have to think out of the box.
That's how you survive in the competition.
Exactly.
But if I have to talk about your personal life here, a lot of times when you are the first generation entrepreneur, you expect from your next generations to sort of carry forward that business,
definitely.
to take care of that business.
Definitely.
But a lot of times what happens is, as you mentioned, a lot of kids are going abroad even when they're having the businesses set up. So as a parent, what is your outlook on that?
See, I have always wanted my children to sort of, come in the line, especially in the boutique line, where I've invested so much of myself, my years in that, and people know me in the city now. So I always feel, my God, after me, what?
Who will? Yeah.
Who will? So I've said, my younger son is still not married, the elder one is married. So I keep telling him also that you should, marry someone who's in the fashion line so that at least someone can take the name forward.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I feel it would be a waste. All the effort that I've put in, after that, who?
Yeah. But then again, coming to
then again, what I was saying, I always feel, but children need to be given that freedom.
Yeah.
I respect their freedom.
That's the irony of the whole situation.
Yes.
That's
exactly. I respect their freedom because, I lost my husband at a very early age. This was in 2000. And when my elder son went to Thapar's, the younger son wanted to go somewhere else for studying. He went to Mumbai to study. So everyone say, "Ek ko to paas mein rakh lena, sir. Why should he suffer? Right. If he has his dreams, I should let them be. मतलब just I can't be so like कि मैं इतनी वो हो जाऊं कि अपने लिए I should keep the child with me. Let him fly." So and I think I took the right decision because at least they are both doing well. I feel I have done my duties well. And then another thing in business is when you do your duties well. See, we women, we multitask,
Right.
So I was multitasking with the home, with one work, with the other work. So, but you have to keep that balance intact. And if a woman's home is in disorder, you cannot
Not
work
a-
well.
Right, right.
My house needs to be spick and span in good condition when I leave it.
Yeah. And that's something, because I meet a lot of people sometimes,
Huh.
especially the working women.
Yeah.
What happens is sometimes the house is not organized.
Yes,
and
exactly.
what the reason that we hear is, oh, we are working.
No, I think that is just an excuse.
Mhm.
If you want to, it takes just about 1 hour, half an hour in the
Right,
morning,
right.
and you are sorted.
Yeah. But you were taking care of your in-laws.
My
your
mother-in-law, yeah.
But right now what we hear is हमें काम करना है, and the first thing that happens is we try to part from the families.
Yeah.
We try to get part from the roots.
Huh.
So
Nee, our value system was much different.
Yeah.
My parents' upbringing, I give full marks to them for
and
the
it's
way
commendable. I have a lot of respect for that.
the way they brought us up. I could not do that at that time. When I was barely 39 when I lost him. So, and leave my mother-in-law alone. He was the only son. I can't leave her alone and do something else. No.
Exactly. So it is just.
So then
setting
you
up
are not
priorities.
you are not satisfied. See, at this point of life, I'm satisfied that I've done my duties well. I'm doing my work well, and believe me, it reflects in your work.
And at the end
Your
of-
creativity comes to the fore. जब तुम boutique में करते हो, when I'm talking here to my clients, they know that ma'am means business. And very recently we were at a conference where we have like about 30 people sitting, and all are men in Delhi. I had this thing, and my CEO, like, he introduced me as his little sister who he really admires. So your heart swells with pride. You've done something right in your
Yeah.
life, that to get that sort of recognition, that sort of love from your this thing, organization.
At the end of the day, it's just how happy you are.
Yeah, exactly.
You're satisfied with yourself and the actions you've done.
And we believe me, I might not have made that much money, but the love and everything which I get from the society is unparalleled.
That's your true earning.
Yeah,
And
that's
something
my
that
true
you've
earning.
earned.
Bilkul.
Right. So you visited the incubation center here.
Yeah.
Now again, incubation center is a very new concept. Not many people.
In fact, when you said incubation center, I had to go to the Google and see what incubation. I was always this thing about the child being in the incubation, this thing,
Yeah.
So this is it's good as like new businesses,
Yes.
startups.
Yeah.
So it's like giving life to them.
Life to them, exactly. And Dr. Pati has done a commendable job.
I have all respect for him and my compliments to him. The way he showed me around and what all I saw, I was not even aware that it existed in Amritsar. My full marks to that department, really.
But how do you think that is going to, bring some kind of advantage to the new businesses, especially when there's not that sense of awareness?
Yeah. So I think once you need to make people more aware that such a thing exists. That is very important. I would love to put it on my page that Guru Nanak Dev University has such a place where you can, because we are followed on the page by 150,000 people.
Right.
So uske beech mein agar if people, more and more people should know about it so that they can, बहुत से लोग बाहर जाने मेरे को लगता है बंद हो जाएंगे if they have good startups here and they know that somebody is there behind them to help them out.
And it's just knowing that we have some organization
Exactly.
that's there to help.
Exactly.
Right.
That is very important.
I think anybody who's going to hear this interview is going to be so motivated.
Are you being kind, Simran?
No, it's just because a lot of times when somebody's talking about their true experiences, you can see it through their eyes. You can just know the kind of hardships that there must have been and the strength that it takes to be on your 2 feet and still walk on the days when you
Yes.
don't feel like.
Exactly.
I think that is something commendable
Thank you,
a
Simran.
human
Thank you
can
so-
do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure for
No,
me.
the pleasure was entirely mine, and thanks to you, Simran.
If there's any message that you want to give to our entrepreneurs who's going to listen to this interview, you please can.
I would just like to say that take your education seriously, because education is what takes you forward, and never stop dreaming. Dream big and you will reach. Dream for the moon, you'll reach the stars definitely. God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. We'll be coming with more interviews. Stay tuned. This is Simran Kaur signing off. Thank you.
Thank you.